This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. On this week's episode of Math and Magic, I'm sitting down with the one and only Bobby Bones. We're exploring the power of audio.
Yeah, I don't fit into one specific hole. I think that is what endeared me to listeners. That's why I'm here now, because I talk to people that grew up like me, have sensibilities like me, and have loyalties like me.
Listen to Math and Magic, stories from the frontiers of marketing on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.
Fan.
Bonus Bucks is back on KFAN. We got 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday.
Bonus Box.
Every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by BigDeck.com.
Your soon-to-be Big Game World Champion. No. Check that. Your soon-to-be NBA champion, Minnesota Timberwolves. My guess is they're already in OKC. They got on that stagecoach probably sometime yesterday, as soon as they found out that OKC was going to beat the Denver Nuggets, and that game was over by halftime, really. You'll hear it on this radio station, Game 1 tomorrow night, tap at about 7:30. And, you know, I don't know a lot about Oklahoma, though. John Denver did write a song about it. You probably remember it. Tennessee goes, almost heaven, Oklahoma, Fort Washita, Centennial Land Run Monument. Great song. A great song. A lot of people are singing it. A lot of people in Oklahoma sing that song everywhere they go. It's a wonderful song. It's a great song. It's a great, big, huge song is what it is. You know, I'm sure all over the country, sports talk radio stations are breaking down matchups. They're breaking down position by position, looking at the stats. Like I think somebody alerted me to the fact, one of my basketball sources. Let me grab this text. I got it a little earlier in the program. It says here, combined score of the 4 regular season games between the Thunder and the Wolves. You know what it was, Tennessee? Minnesota 475, Oklahoma City 472. Only 3 points in 4 games separate the two teams. Too deep in evenly matched teams. While others will break it down, we do it the way we do it. Many years ago, did we play Oklahoma City? Is that why we have this?
I don't know why we have this. I don't even know if they were a franchise back then. This was back in 2012.
I know that there certain shows catch heat here on the radio station for re-racking bits. Mm-hmm. And they're just re-racking them from the same day. We're re-racking them from 13 years ago. This is from 2012. It's Jed and Jethro. We're just winging this. Tennessee hasn't listened to it. We just know
I listened to the first 10 seconds of it, and I'm like, wow, we just got to play it because it's so good.
This is Jed and Jethro. They work for KOKC, and they used to. I don't know if they work there anymore. All sports station in Oklahoma City.
KOKC, simple sports talk for Oklahomans. How y'all doing today out there, sports people? It's Jed and Jethro on your sports leader, KOKC, Oklahoma City, home of the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're soon to be NBA World Champions. Ain't that right, Jethro?
It sure is.
Woo-hoo! Man, did the tarantula ever take old LeBron James to school in the fourth quarter the other night, huh, Jethro? 36 points. Let's see here. How'd that NBA MVP do? Oh, not so good in the fourth quarter, did he there, huh? LeBron didn't really show up again, did he?
No, he did.
Wonder if we can redo that MVP vote today. Who'd win, huh, Jethro?
Tarantula.
How you feeling today, OKC? You getting ready for that World Championship parade down Cattle Prod Avenue here in beautiful downtown Oklahoma City? Yeah! Well, kiss my sister and Top the Pig. We're going to take game 2 tomorrow night. Goodbye, my Miami. Hey, Jethro, you ever been to Miami?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Somewhere down there in South Carolina somewhere. You might as well take it back to the beach with all you beautiful people. We're going to win this thing here, sports people. Hey, Jethro.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Dad.
Dwayne Wade.
Dad.
Chris Paul. Hang around, folks. We're going to take your calls about what's your favorite Kevin Durant dunk. Plus, we got more fun and games coming up. I got some great prizes here. I got 4-pack of tickets to the Barry Switzer Rodeo and Beauty Pageant Sunday afternoon at Tobacco Spitting Pete's RV Camper and ATV Arena.
Yeah.
So hang around. We'll be back in a second to talk more about the soon-to-be NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder.
Their report card has got to be asked through the roof.
That's so good.
Barry Switzer, what is it? Trailer park and convention center or something? I don't know what he was saying. It actually brings tears to my eyes.
Simple sports talk for Oklahomans.
Yeah. Cattle Prod Avenue, or it was Cattle Prod Boulevard. What? Cattle Prod Avenue. That's how they are in Oklahoma. They're good people down there. They're hardworking, good people tend to be. They're really good people. I forgot how brilliant that was.
Oh, and I do have like 4 more if you ever want to play more of this show or tomorrow.
Oh,
it's so good.
What time is it now? 2:08.
2:08.
I got nothing for the rest of the show. I was surprised we got to 2 o'clock. We might have to bring that back again. God, how many more of those do we have?
I got 4 more, and then I have a 5th one that says KOKC at Cowboys training camp.
Well, we might have to do another one here eventually. I mean, it's either that or... Tell me, here's your choice. We either play another one of those, or I give you... The Thunder and Timberwolves split the season series at 2 games apiece. Minnesota averaged 118.8 points per game, 48.8 rebounds, 25.3 assists, and shot 45.1% from the field in the season against Oklahoma City. The Thunder averaged 118 points per game, 44 boards, 27.3 assists, and a 46.6% field goal shooting against Minnesota. That would basically lead you to believe that there was basically in those 4 games, I guess, 2-3 point difference total? And that's what it was, 3-point difference. Because think of this, Tennessee. Minnesota averaged 118.8. The Thunder averaged 118. Minnesota averaged 48.8 boards. The Thunder, 44 boards. Assists, Minnesota 25.3. Oklahoma led that category, 27.3. In the field goal percentage, Minnesota 45.1, Oklahoma City 46.6. So, I mean, you can't get any more evenly matched than that, Tennessee. I mean, that's 2 teams that basically, that's why they split the season series, and that's why the point differential between the 2 teams over 4 games.
How many of those games did we have Julius Randle playing in?
We didn't. I think 2 or 3 of them we missed Randle and DiVincenzo, I believe. Or I can't remember. Are we going with DiVincenzo or DiVincenzo this week? Because it can change from week to week, game to game, segment to segment. Hell, I can change his name in the same sense. I really like the way DiVincenzo was playing, and DiVincenzo played just as well when he played for New York. So you can use either pronunciation. I learned that from Mark Rosen. Just whatever feels right. Doncic or Doncic, whatever you want to say. The one game that stood out of the 4, like a sore thumb if you're Oklahoma City, is the Timberwolves' chaotic comeback when they were trailing. Was that the last time they met? Was that the last game or second to last game that they met? When the Wolves were down.
I know they met like a couple times within like a week stretch.
They were down, was it 23, 27, 28 points? I don't remember the exact total, but they were down a bundle. And they rallied back. I mean, in OKC had no answer. All OKC had to do was, when you're up that many points that late in the game, you think you could come up with a stop or two or make a bucket? They were unable to do it. Due in large parts of the Wolves' ability to prevent Oklahoma City from scoring and from being able to put players in a position to score where Oklahoma City really couldn't do anything about it. And it was just like the old, it's like an avalanche. It was a snowball running, picking up steam, rolling downhill.
So it wasn't the last meeting.
Okay.
So the last meeting, OKC won 131 to 128.
Okay.
That was on February 24th.
Right.
February 23rd at OKC, that's when the Wolves won 130 to 123.
What was, in the last one, wasn't there something that stood out in that game too, other than it was a great game, and it was a 3-point game? I thought there was something that stood out in that game that was it a bad call or, a perceived bad call or something? I don't remember what it was. But yeah, but that Wolves game where they came back, that's the one where, and I don't know how much players rely on those kinds of things. Like, let's say, for instance, game one, regardless of what game it is, let's say the Wolves do get down by a large amount. So one of the guys in the huddle go, we were down 98 one time to this club. Let's go get them. So, I think that can play a part. Because, you play some psychological games with yourself when you're playing sports. So there you go. We also have some snippets. It's too bad Denver's out, because then we have some K-High.
Yes.
Do we still have those around?
I'm sure we do. I can find those.
Those are really good, too.
We might have to play another KOKC.
Oh, we're going to. Because
it makes me cry.
If all the other shows are re-racking, interviews and bits, why don't we? This is what we do. We'll pause. We'll come back. We'll, I think we might do another KOKC bit on when we return. But right now, Tennessee has got a keyword for bonus bucks, brought to you by BigDeck.com.
Yep, the fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword money at KFAN.com now for your shot of winning. That keyword is money. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. On this week's episode of Math and Magic, I'm sitting down with the one and only Bobby Bones. We're exploring the power of audio.
The word on the street then was he's too country for pop. But then once I got to country, it was he's too pop for country. So I kind of never really had a place to fit in, but that's exactly how and why I fit. I just embraced that. Like, I don't fit into one specific hole. I think that is what endeared me to listeners. That's why I'm here now, because I talk to people that grew up like me, have sensibilities like me, and have loyalties like me.
Listen to Math and Magic, stories from the frontiers of marketing on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's been a fast-paced, action-packed, controversial Common Man program today, but what's new? What's up? We're here until 3. We turn it over to Big Ticket and JG. Oklahoma City, they will host our soon-to-be NBA world champion Minnesota Timberwolves tomorrow night. Game 1, Western Conference Finals, best of 7. Tap is set for about 7:30. Back when OKC was... they were in there. This isn't the first time they've been to the Western Conference Finals. Not too long ago, they were on a heck of a roll, and we were curious what it was like to live in a city and listen to sports talk radio where the teams were winners. And so here's another look back at KOKC in Oklahoma City.
KOKC, simple sports talk for Oklahomans. Well, sports peoples, welcome back to KOKC, home of the soon-to-be world champion Oklahoma City Thunder. But
Champion.
you think the NBA don't want that now, do they?
No, they don't.
Peoples, I'm madder than a stirred-up pickled egg jar-sized hornet's nest.
Me too.
Did you see that foul last night by LeBron James on Kevin Durant, Jethro? I mean, come on, Ref. If he touched him anymore, they'd have to get a room. Man, I didn't touch my wife that much on our honeymoon. He's all over him.
Yeah.
And on top of that, 5 fouls called on Kevin Durant. Man, come on. He's out the game most of the night.
Terrible.
I gotta think there's some kind of conspiracy the NBA wants LeBron James and the Miami Heat to win.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you right now, sports peoples,
Yeah.
we going down to Miami down there in Georgia and whooping some NBA booty. Ain't that right, Jethro?
Whooping booty.
You done stirred up a rattlesnake's nest. What you did, it's called the OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick call, Bubba from Mountain Oyster Creek. You go to the game last night?
I sure was, kid. I was in row 5 wearing my blue shirt.
I like that. You see there are white shirts there, too?
Sure did. One section was blue, then the next was white, then the next was blue, then the next was white.
Okay, we got it. We know. Look, you say you saw something.
Kid, after the game, I saw Pat Riley slip one of the referees an envelope full of big fat stacks of NBA-provided cash.
You saw that?
Yes, I did.
How sure are you of that?
I don't know, about 50% sure.
Good enough for me. Say it's a conspiracy, people. NBA don't want the Thunder to win this thing. But we're going to show them, aren't we, Jethro?
We're going to show them.
We'll be right back after this. We'll take your calls. We're going to play a little game. If you could tie up the rest, say a pickup truck, and drag them through the center of town, what kind of truck would you be driving? Call us with your best truck picks. Go Thunder! Yeah!
That's Marconi Award-winning radio.
How do we not win a Marconi that year?
I don't know. It's it's pretty good stuff. I think Jethro adds a lot too. Don't you?
Jethro's my favorite part.
He's the favorite part of that. Jethro's got that fake laugh down to a science, man. He's really good at it. But I don't think it's fake. I think it's genuine. I think it's how can
you would replace me with Jethro in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. You would replace me with Jed.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. Slipped him an envelope, Pat Riley an envelope, big fat stacks of NBA provided cash. How sure? He bought 50% sure. Good enough for me.
LeBron James.
LeBron, it's a conspiracy is what it is. What I do like about this matchup, Timothy, you've worked with me long enough, and I've repeated myself a couple 13, 14, 100 times. 100, yes. What I like in my sporting events, in games, whether it's hockey, baseball, particularly though basketball and football, I like defense. Defense wins championships. And these two teams play defense. You will see, if you like this in your basketball, you like this, double teams, rotations done quickly, rim protection, a lot of on-ball pressure. Did you see that? Did you watch much of yesterday's Oklahoma City?
I didn't see any of it.
There was a foul called on, who was the dude that played with the bad hammy? Gordon. Was it Aaron Gordon?
For Denver, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how he played in that game. You could see he was struggling up and down the floor. And as they mentioned on the telecast, he's a right-handed, left-handed player. That's his push-off leg. He couldn't even push off on it. And he was gingerly and Marianne running up and down the court and really, because he wanted to stay in the game and he knew they were surprised again. Maybe this is just coach speak to try, you always want to make guys larger than life in the legendary flu games and all that. But they were surprised he was even able to play. But he got called for a flagrant 1, 2, 9, number nine, whatever it was. Because Shea was all over him, right? And he's moving like this with the ball, and he's getting sick and tired of the guy. So he kind of elbowed him. I actually don't think he did it purposely, but they said he did, and they even elevated to a flagrant one. And maybe he did do it purposely. It just looked almost inadvertent, but you try to make it look inadvertent, right? But that in-your-face defense that they're playing like that, they just don't give you a chance to breathe. And the Wolves do the same thing. And you saw how much it's Alexander's cousin, our guy.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
Alexander-Walker. My guess is he's going to be all over his cousin. And there was a great, I saw a soundbite of Shea yesterday talking about the matchup, and he goes, he was basically saying, you have no idea how much Na means to me. He goes, he's practically a brother to me, right? Mm-hmm. We did everything together, basketball, the whole thing. He said, that being said, I'm still going to try to take his head off come Monday. So that's just an interesting sidebar to the story. But the point they were making during the telecast was, and I hadn't given this much thought because I don't give the NBA much thought at all. I'm not paying as close attention to the NBA as I once did. But the idea that you're supposed to also, there's like a cylinder where you're supposed to be able to move, right? Matter of fact, they were talking about it, and this is true. Back in the old days, you were taught to kind of get your elbows out there a little bit to give yourself a little bit of room. Now that's looked on as, no, you can't do that. And that's because I think they'd like to increase defense in the NBA. Because I think there are other people like me that aren't big fans of 148, 146 games. So, but this should be a game where, especially when you get to the finals, I mean, no one's going to back down, and no one's going to take a breather, I don't think, even for a play. So, but I think defense will be at a premium. Will we get over 100 points? Yeah, I suppose there'll be a couple of games, but I don't think we're going to get much over that. Maybe low 100s, because I think both teams are going to do everything they can to prevent the other team from scoring more so than they normally would do during a regular season game. We'll take a break. We'll come back, one more segment to go. Should we do another? We may as well use them up, because the series starts tomorrow. Do you want to do another?
Do you want to do KOKC or K-High?
Well, should we try K-High? Just, Denver didn't make it. Hey, we wanted, they're kind of the bridesmaids there in the semifinals. Maybe we'll play a K-High coming up next. As the Common Man program continues on the other side of the break here on The Fan.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. On this week's episode of Math and Magic, I'm sitting down with the one and only Bobby Bones. We're exploring the power of audio.
The word on the street then was, he's too country for pop. But then once I got to country, it was, he's too pop for country. So I kind of never really had a place to fit in, but that's exactly how and why I fit. I just embraced that. Like, yeah, I don't fit into one specific hole. I think that is what endeared me to listeners. That's why I'm here now, because I talk to people that grew up like me, have sensibilities like me, and have loyalties like me.
Listen to Math and Magic, stories from the frontiers of marketing on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Couple 13-14 past Common Man program. Western Conference Finals begin tomorrow night, Wednesday Eastern Conference Finals. Bodega Cat and the Knickerbockers take on the Indiana Pacers. Tomorrow night, Wolves are in Oklahoma City to take on OKC. We went back in time, did a radio rewind is what we like to call it. Some couple of sound checks from or air checks from KOKC in Oklahoma City. Denver, that's the team that's been doing fairly well over the last few years, and of course I think they were the first state to legalize marijuana, and in honor of that, they saw the radio station there change the call letters to KHI, I think K-High. We got a little snippet from them, too, Tim. Don't we have an air check?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the opportunity to determine which one you want to listen to.
Okay.
Because they're labeled. We have Denver Vikes, Super Bowl champs. And then there's game 3, game 4, game 5, game 7. My assumption is that's Wild Avalanche related, just because they were probably playing a series around that time.
What do you like?
Well, I'm leaving it up to you.
Yeah, but what do you like?
I don't know if I have a preference.
Let's go with football.
Okay. Denver Vikes?
Sure.
Okay.
I think I prefer K-High Radio over KOKC. They're both
doesn't
good.
surprise me.
Can we do another one? Seriously.
OKC or K-High?
K-High. What else do we have? No, we have like
Super Bowl champs, and then we had game 3, game 4, game 5, game 7.
Well, let's go ahead and do the Super Bowl champs. I'm going to football. That air check from our friends at K-High Radio. You brought the Twins during 5-3-4. They had their 13-game winning streak snapped yesterday at the hands of the Milwaukee Brewers. I guess it was going to happen. It was going to happen with Zebby Matthews. No offense to Zebby Matthews, but I tell you what, Lopez and Joe Ryan have been literally off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had not one, not two, but 3 shutouts in a row.
Yeah.
Until the bullpen gave up some runs yesterday, they'd gone 21 innings.
Zebby's.
What's that?
It was Zebby's that gave up the runs.
Right.
Yeah.
But their bullpen did give up runs as well, I thought, because the streak got stopped at 21. I thought.
Oh, I thought you were talking about I thought you were about the overall shutout streak they had.
Right. No,
yeah.
I'm talking about the bullpen streak. Yeah, they had like 34 innings of shutout ball, three victories in a row that were shutouts, and the bullpen had gone 21 innings without giving up a run. That 13-game winning streak, I think, was tied for second. I think the longest winning streak the Twins have ever had was back in 1991, when I think it was 15 games. And to win the games in that, they scored runs too. There are, until Correa and Buxton were put on the 7-day DL, whatever they call it, on the concussion protocol, both were. Correa was finally starting to hit the ball a little bit. Buxton's been hitting it most of the year. Royce Lewis yesterday had 1 home run and was robbed of a second home run. Brooks Lee has been hitting extremely well as of late, so the team is starting to hit. The pitching is even, I think, better than expected. And you win 13 games in a row. They've gone from being head-scratchingly woeful to, over the past 3 weeks, one of the best teams in baseball, which leads me to your Major League Baseball power rankings here on the Fan. And the Twins are climbing, and they're climbing fast, Tennessee. They've gone from 14th to 9th best team in the league. Now, you and I have looked at these before, and I think you're right. If you have the most wins in baseball, you're ranked as the number 1 team, and that's exactly what the Tigers are. The Tigers, I think, have the best record in Major League Baseball at 31-16. That's why the Twins have really had. Think about this, Tennessee, in their 13-game winning streak. Maybe you could check this for me, but I could almost swear they're 5 back now? When this winning streak started, I think they were only like 7 or 8 back. In other words, they've needed these wins just to keep pace with the Tigers, because the Tigers are winning at a torrid pace as well. You looked at it last week before I left. I think in the last 10, the Twins were like 10-0, or maybe they were. Yeah, maybe at the time they were 9-1, just because they'd lost a game and then rattled off 9 in a row. So it was the last 10, whatever. But the Tigers were like 8-2, and it's been difficult. They've had to win 13 games in a row just to keep Detroit in their sights. Now, it's a long season. It's not to suggest that the Twins, being 5 out, they're not going to be able to catch the Tigers a lot.
So on May 2nd, the Twins were 8 games back.
So they've picked up 3 games since then.
Yeah.
Which, when you win 13 games in a row, you would think you would pick up more than that, but that goes to show you how good the Tigers are. And they are ranked as the best team in Major League Baseball on the latest CBS Sports power rankings. The Dodgers come in at number 3. Did you see that the Angels swept the Dodgers over the weekend? And the Angels have been one of the worst teams in baseball. We know it. We watched the Twins win 3 in a row. That's when the Twins first started their winning streak. After they'd lost a number of games in a row. Remember, we talked about it last year when it was almost identical situation. Twins were a terrible team, terrible city, terrible fans, terrible stadiums. Then they had 2-3 game series in a row. Chicago, followed by the Angels. And last year, I think they won all 6. This year was the same thing. Chicago, then the Angels. And I think we won 5 of 6. And that was the sort of the start of this resurgence, or this, maybe not even a resurgence because the team didn't start out so well, it was a rebirth in the Twins for this season. But the Angels beat the Dodgers in 3, and the Dodgers had been the number 1 in according to the power rankings, had been the number 1 team in baseball, and rightly so, because until that 3-game losing streak, they were 29-15. Of course, the Angels, I don't know if you saw the story. I just skimmed it. I should admit this working at the All Sports station, that I just basically skimmed the sports page. But the Angels are doing the old, this goes to show you that we're a really good team, and we got winning players on this team, and we're still going to be a team to be reckoned with, and maybe they will. But I still think the Angels have an awful record, and hey, hats off! You beat the defending Dodgers won the World Series last year, right? They beat the Yanks.
Yes.
Hey, hats off! You beat the defending world champions in 3 games in a row, but 1 series does not a season make. But the Dodgers dropped to 2, Yankees at 3, Mets at 4, Cubs, Phillies, Mariners, Padres, and then your Minnesota Twins at 9. And when we looked at these power rankings, I think it was last week, you had the Tigers, the Guardians, and the Royals all kind of bunched up together. But the Royals have now dropped 5 spots. They're at 16, and the Guardians plummet 8 spots down to 18. And didn't you mention the Guardians on the 4-game losing streak?
Yeah,
they're on a 4-game losing streak. So the Twins go to Cleveland on a high, while the Guardians are trying to find their footing again, much like Deuce. He's back, Tennessee.
We got Cleveland here, by the way.
Yeah, Cleveland here.
Yeah.
Deuce is back. Deuce is here, not in Lincoln, I can tell you that, because he came back. Graduation went off without a hitch on Saturday at the Pinnacle Bank Stadium. I'm just glad there were 2 different graduations, a morning and an afternoon. We went to the morning one. I'm glad it's get in, get out, and we had a great time. Then we went out for a nice lunch. But Deuce is now back. And by the way, Timmy, I'm excited to announce that Deuce has a job offer and has accepted.
Oh my gosh.
Laboratory test animal. No, he got a real job from some. I'm gonna have to. Some financial firm, ABC, XYZ.
As easy as 1, 2, 3.
As easy as 1, 2, 3. I don't remember what it was, but he got in a really good starting pay. I was very impressed. I mean, I'll put it this way: he's making considerably more in his first ever job than I did. I was making $2.10 an hour, my first ever job. Let's say he's making considerably more than that, and he better for what we paid for that degree. So, yeah, but I just want to, be a little emotional here. It's not like, me, Tennessee, gruff exterior, rarely shed a tear. But yeah, it's good to see it's, and he was, he took it kind of, he was glad to finish school, but it kind of just hit him all of a sudden that, you spent 4 years in Lincoln. He made a lot of friends, a lot of acquaintances, met a gal there. And,
yeah, baby.
With all that, all of a sudden it finally hit him. He's like, I'm leaving this all behind now. Again, he's glad to be home and moving on with the next stage of his life. But it was a little melancholy.
It's a life-changing event, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a little melancholy. It was the best of times, worst of times. There was a little bit of sadness there, too. But
it'd be like getting to announce the Vikings' 4th-round pick in the NFL draft. It's life-changing.
I would say that's as life-changing as it is. So congratulations to Deuce. And may he wear it well. I'm about to get emotional. I better stop. Tim, you think?
What do you think of that?
Yeah, what do you think of that? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, hey, great job.
Yeah, you as well. We enjoyed our visit with you today. We're back again tomorrow at 12 noon on Game 1, Western Conference Finals. We'll get Mark Rosen's thoughts just before 2 as well. We will we'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon. Stick around. Big Tig and JG are next. You're on the Fan.
Good night, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Minnesota!
Good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Later.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. On this week's episode of Math and Magic, I'm sitting down with the one and only Bobby Bones. We're exploring the power of audio.
Yeah, I don't fit into one specific hole. I think that is what endeared me to listeners. That's why I'm here now, because I talk to people that grew up like me, have sensibilities like me, and have loyalties like me.
Listen to Math and Magic, stories from the frontiers of marketing on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.